Mr. Skillworth, report to Mrs. Hightower's office. Mr. Skillworth, report to Mrs. Hightower's office.
Oh, yeah, I bet that's that raise I've been expecting. Oh, maybe even a promotion.
Hey, go for it, Skillworth!
Hey, Charlie, next time you see me, I'll have a collar and a tie.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I'm here to see Mrs. Hightower.
Have a seat, Mr. Skillworth. Mrs. Hightower will see you now, Mr. Skillworth.
Okay. Good afternoon, Mrs. Hightower.
Good afternoon, Mr. Skillworth. May I ask you a question?
Certainly.
How long have you been working for our company?
10 years, ma'am.
And what is your current rate of pay?
$6.25 an hour.
Do you find yourself satisfied with your employment?
Well, since Eddie Mahoney died there the other week, I thought I might be able to fill his position.
Well, I'm glad you're so happy, Mr. Skillworth. You're fired.
What's this?
It's the NeoRadio Hour.
Hi, I'm Peter Donalds. This is the NeoRadio Hour, home of independent writers, musicians, and home tapers, the folk artists of the electronic age. We've got the usual eclectic mix of scenes, stories, and sound sculpture, including a few neo bits from our own studios. And in conversation collage tonight, Roger and Nancy. You don't have to worry about your position here. We're very happy with your work, and we'd love to keep you on. It's the NeoRadio Hour. Independent audio art.
In the summertime, when the wind is dying, I can see the firefly flying, everybody trying, smoking Spanish moss, yeah, in a room with a view. Looky, everybody watched us. What could we do? Time when the wind is dying, I can see the firefly flying, everybody trying, smoking Spanish moss, in a room with a view. Lucky, everybody watched us. What could we do? What did we do? What did we do? Baby. Well, lately in my life it seems I'm approached by all my dreams. Get back. Yeah. hot summertime, when the wind is dying, I can see the firefly flying. Everybody trying, everybody trying, everybody trying, everybody trying, everybody trying. Hot summertime, yeah, baby. The NeoRadio Hour.
Dish rag! What's the matter, girl? Dish rag! You spooked by something? Don't stop on me now, girl. We got a long trail ahead. It's almost sundown. Oh, come on, giddy up. Yeah! Oh, come on, you stubborn excuse for a horse. Now move! Dag burn it. Shoot. I don't know what to do for you, girl. God dang it. Oh, looks like I'll just have to flat-foot it into this here town up ahead. Well, my pa would have known what was wrong with that horse. He knew everything about horses. Of course he did. Spent more time with his horse than he did with me. That's for sure. I remember when I was a boy, whenever I'd ask Ma where he was at, well, she'd always tell me the same.
Out on the trail. Your pa's got to make a living, ain't he? He works hard to put food on our table. You want to go hungry?
I missed my pa, but I love the image of him. Out on the trail with other men, riding and roping, cussing and singing, fighting and shooting, sleeping under the stars. Well, what do you know? Just as I finished my expositional contemplation, here I am in town. What's that sign say? Let's see. Manly Gulch, population 62. You gonna make it 63, boy? No, old-timer, my horse broke down just up the road a piece. You got a horse doctor in this here town? Well, no, but Jake's livery stable's right here. Maybe Jake can help you. Thanks, old-timer. Hey, wait a minute now. I think I recognize you. You're Lanford Goshen's boy. Yeah, I was good friends with your pa. I called him Landy Goshen. Old-timer, that's about the worst pun I've ever heard. You ain't heard nothing yet, boy. I used to have the fastest pun in Wyoming. Every pun slinger in the West came after me, and I took 'em all. I hate puns. Anyway, it sounds like a whole nother sketch to me. You'll just have to wait till next week. Now, wait a minute. You're Landy Jr. now, ain't you? That's right, old-timer, but folks call me Lefty. Lefty, huh? You must be a quick draw like your pa. He was mighty good with a six-shooter. You take after your pa then, do you? No, I don't shoot. They call me Lefty 'cause of my liberal politics. You don't shoot? Well, I've known the Goshens for nigh on 60 years. I never did hear of a Goshen who didn't shoot, boy. Your pa and his pa before him, they were real men. Well, I don't shoot. I'm a pacifist. A pacifist? A pacifist. Looky here, everybody. It's the Pacifist Goshen. Go away. I'm going to step into this here Jake's livery stable. Go on, then. Who's stopping you? Pacifist Goshen? You ain't no man, Pacifist Goshen. Hello, Jake. You fix horses? What are you talking about, boy? My horse. She stopped just down the road a piece. Wondered if you could take a look at her. She just stopped. What's wrong with her? I don't know. She just stopped. What, did she make a sound before she stopped? Yeah, I guess. Well, what did it sound like? I don't know. Just kind of a horse sound, you know. No, I don't know. Boy, don't you know anything about horses? Well, it was kind of a... How's her shoes? Oh, yeah, that's it. Maybe it was one of her shoes. Maybe? Didn't you check her dang blasted shoes at least before coming in here and whining like a woman? Well, I'll have one of my men go check her out. What kind of horse is she? I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? Hell's bells, boy. Is she an Appaloosa? A Palomino? Is she a damn Clydesdale? What is she? Well, her name's Dishrag. I don't care if you call her Little Mary Sunlight, Queen of the Horse Fairies. Don't you know the dang breed? I gotta put something on the work order. I don't know. She's just a horse. A brown horse. I give her oats and water and she goes. Boy, you are pathetic. What do you do for a living? I'm a writer. A writer? Yeah, I write stories and poems and songs about the Old West. I chronicle the lives of the common folk to find universal truth. I'm a pioneer of the soul. I find meaning. Yeah, but what the hell good are you to anybody? A gall-blasted rider who don't know one end of a horse from another. You're not a man. What do you mean I'm not a man? What do I mean? You're the one who finds meaning, mister, not me. Now get out of here. You make me sick. Go cool your heels in the saloon next door. I'll give your horse a look-see and get an estimate over to you. Horses broke down, huh? You're gonna have to hoof it for a while. I told you leave me alone. Now get out of here, old-timer. Not a man? Where in tarnation did he get off saying I'm not a man?
What's your poison, stranger?
Whiskey?
Ain't seen you in these parts before.
I'm in no mood for chit-chat, honey. Just bring the bottle.
Look, mister, I don't cotton to no sexist, condescending epithets like honey or darling or babe. That might be the fashion where you come from, but it ain't gonna get away with that here in Manly Gulch.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean anything by it. You haven't been proper introduced, boy. Please, I just want to be alone. This here's Lulabelle, and I'm Wyoming Pete.
We call him Y for short.
Why? I don't know. They just do it. Get it? That's terrible. That feller at the end of the bar there, that's Howdy Rogers. We call him Hal. How?
You making fun of our Native American brothers and sisters, mister?
Well, no, of course not. And those fellers playing poker over there, that's Tom Reddy, Ben Willing, and Sam Abel. Reddy, Willing, and Abel?
Are you propositioning me, mister? Look, you boot-kicking son of a cowboy, that kind of talk may have worked for your daddy, but you're about to lose your spur jingles if you keep making with the verbal assaults. You ain't no man.
Not a man. Now wait a gosh darn minute there. You're the third person in the last 5 minutes who said that to me. What's going on here?
Howdy Rogers. Now there's a man. Look at him there at the end of the bar, taking care of his little baby boy while his wife is at the gym.
That's Boy Howdy. Will you stop? What's he doing? Is he changing a diaper?
You mean you never changed a diaper? You're pathetic.
Wait, that's a stinker. Howdy doody. That's it. I've had enough of you and your lame puns. I can't believe it. I've never hit anyone in my life. I'm sorry. Why? Are you all right?
You best be on your way, mister. Here in Manly Gulch, we know that a real man cultivates his feminine side. He nurtures his children, is kind to old folks, and respectful to women. And he never resorts to violence.
But Jake said I wasn't a man because I didn't know about horses. And why? You said I wasn't a man because I didn't know guns. And now you say, Lefty Goshen. Jake, over here, Jake. How's my horse? Okay, now, well, we put her up on the rack, ran a full diagnostics check. Here's an itemized estimate of services required. Howdy, Lulabelle.
Howdy, Jake.
Howdy, Hal. Looks like you got your hands full down there. Main realignment, rain check, worn bit bearings. I don't know what any of this means.
Oh, Jake, you're standing on me.
Don't know what it means. You know, for someone who finds meaning for a living, you're having a lot of trouble with that tonight, ain't you? Listen, Emily Dickinson, I don't give squat what you understand. The fact is I can't release your horse until she meets the Wyoming Beast Vehicle Code. Your total's at the bottom there. But I can't pay. Why? You're standing on me, Jake. Oh, sorry, why?
Oh.
I mean, why can't you pay? $400. I haven't got $400. It might as well be $4,000. $4 million. No money.
You're no man.
I'm no man because I've got no money? Why? Yeah?
It's the NeoRadio Hour.
Listening to the NeoRadio Hour, independent audio art. I'm Peter Donalds, and behind me is Roger. I found Roger at a place called Barb's Garage, a combination thrift store and junk store in a small Wisconsin town. In stores like this, I usually go right to the records and tapes, and I sifted through the bin of cassette tapes, and I found a few tapes that had handwritten labels that looked like they were home recordings. And lo and behold, I hit the jackpot. This is Roger and Nancy. That's all I know about them. They're somewhere south of here. And this is a tape they sent to some friends of theirs, relatives, not quite sure, Thelma and Willard. Now, I talk a lot in this show about home tapers. Listen to the heart in this tape, and you'll know why I feel so strongly about getting real voices and real people on electronic media.
Well, hi, Willard and Thelma and everybody up there in Wisconsin land. I tell you what, I really enjoy making this tape, and I know Nancy does too, and I'm going to sing a few songs because my good friends told us that, you enjoyed the music and everything, and we were so glad when Harris and Elner came, and we really enjoyed them. But Willard and Thelma, I tell you what, I really enjoy hearing from you guys, and I hope that you're doing all right. Thelma, I hope you're doing good. And Willard, I hope that everything's going good with you. And, I really enjoy playing and singing, and it's just a lot of fun. And Nancy will talk some on the other side of the tape, and I'll try and sing a few songs and have a little bit of fun, It's just really a lot of fun to sing and play and send these tapes back and forth. I really enjoyed hearing from you, Willard, and I hope that that you all will have a real nice, pretty winter this year, and you won't get too frozen up there, and everything will be fine. And maybe send us a little bit of snow, because, you know, I like to see a little bit of snow down here, just a little bit, you know what I mean? So anyhow, I'm going to sing a little bit here, and just hope you enjoy it. I'm going to California, where you sleep out every night. Woo-hoo! California, where you sleep out every night. Gonna find me a new kid, one who'll treat me right. Got the sun in the morning, moon at supper time. Got the sun in the morning, moon at supper time. Gonna find me a new kid, one who'll treat me right.
Excuse me, and I can't tell so much up there. It's just running out of that. Gosh, it sounds like I better take a nap or something, huh, Willard? Sit here and go to sleep on you yet. But, like I said, on the other side of this tape, Roger has played and sung some songs, and he loves to play and sing. He just loves to sit there with that guitar, and he serenades me every once in a while with a few melodies. But he's such a sweet husband. I just couldn't get along without him. He's so good to me and to the kids, and he's always happy. He's always got a big smile on his face, and this has been going on for 8 years now with me. So, you know, I guess he's proved that he's going to stick with it all. But anyway, he's a sweetheart, and I really do praise the Lord for him. Of course, the kids are good too, but you know, you need that mate. You know, your kids can't give you what a mate can give you, and I just, you know, you just look forward to that time, you know, with your mate. That's all there is to it. But anyway, like I said, we do get out a little bit on the weekends. Like if I'm feeling good, we go out for a little drive, or that's always kind of nice if we can just get out and get a change of scenery a little bit. Go out for a drive, or we go out to Mom and Daddy's quite a bit, and because I never do get dressed up, I'm always just in a nightie or a house coat, so we just can't go any place too social. I'll go over to visit Barbara and Weedy or something like that, but that's about the extent of any place we go at all. But anyway, it is nice to get out. It's nice just to get out of the house and get out of these four walls, and especially with winter coming now, those little times out are just more important, because you just do seem to get so much more closed in, and when it gets colder and that type of thing. So anyway, we didn't get out last weekend. I did want to see the leaves, but maybe we'll get out a little bit this weekend, and since I wasn't feeling too good last weekend. And y'all take care, and just know that I love you very, very much, and that you're very, very special to me. So I'll be waiting for another tape, Willard, and you hang in there. I love you.
know I'd never find another you. Another you. Another you.
It's the NeoRadio Hour.
And I'd just like to come in at the halfway point here to remind you that here on the Neo Radio Hour, everything you hear comes from independent writers, musicians, and home tapers. The folk artists of the electronic age, as we call them, as we call you, and we hope that you'll contribute your work. We're not asking for money, although we wouldn't turn it down, but what we're asking for is the stuff we're actually going to put on the program. Songs, stories, scenes, sound sculpture, whatever your imagination can get onto a cassette tape or a DAT tape. So become part of the program. We hope you will. It's the Neo Radio Hour, independent audio art.
Orkney Street was a little bit bigger than an alley. 2 rows of 2-story marble-stepped homes, built to house the families of the weavers, dyers, and strongbacks who worked in the carpet mills that were owned by the same squires our ancestors toiled for in the old country. Surrounded by factories, warehouses, and the St. Christopher's Hospital for Children, Orkney Street sat in the shadow of the previous century. So narrow that you couldn't park a car on it, leaving it traversed by only the necessary vehicles of the coalman, milkman, or hospital delivery truck. It was a virtual arena for street games and provided us with a place to draw on a grand scale. With shards of brick and nubs of colored chalk, My pal Mickey and I drew pictures in the street. Mick duck walked around the blacktop, working on a curb-to-curb battle scene where American and Nazi soldiers fought from barbed wire trenches. He scratched in howitzers on opposing mountainsides, blasting away at his boxy hieroglyphic troops. Mustangs and Messerschmitts tore across the asphalt sky, dogfighting and strafing tank columns that crashed through the wooded areas behind the infantry. With his nose to the street, he drew in chevrons and decorations on the uniforms, empty shells popping out of the Lugers and Garands, trickles of blood oozing from the dead and wounded, who laid exide in the bomb craters, strewn with broken weapons and body parts. Mick was a master. My mural also depicted our father's nightmares. In white, blue, and brick scratch, I made a 7-foot battleship, complete with sailors at gun stations and lookout posts, the admiral at the bridge, and the reconnaissance plane on its launcher at the stern. In my newfound technique of perspective, I drew 2 PT boats hopping through the waves, lurking on the horizon. A Japanese cruiser aimed its guns. Mick strolled over to where I was working and offered me a plug of black licorice. He squatted beside me to touch up the braid on my admiral's cap and suggested a sub-periscope in the forewater.
You ought to put some kamikazes in there, buddy. Blow a hole in the side of that ship. Get some action going.
He critiqued. Now, I wasn't as taken as Mick by the death and destruction of battle. For me, it was the instruments of war, the guns and the uniforms, the machines, shapes, and colors, not so much their purpose. Mickey was about to return to blasting the heads off some Nazis when tottering down the street came old drunken Harry, the ex-Marine. Harry was a guy who could always be counted on for some inspirational blood and guts stories from his campaigns in World War II. "So, you little sons of sea cooks," he would growl, putting up his dukes. His slurred and colorful military lingo was a big part of his charm. He was a little bantam rooster of a guy who liked to spar around with us. If you weren't careful, he'd slap the stink off you. Mickey got him to take out his glass eye. Harry lost the real one at Iwo Jima, which he put into the pocket of his denim shirt after a few drunken attempts to get it back into his slimy, quivering socket. He was telling us how he captured a Japanese general at Guadalcanal and was about to take off his artificial leg for us when the old bag from across the street gave him a bum's rush. Our chat with Harry gave me the idea to replace my PT boats with an LST. So Mick and I bombed the PTs with spit and rubbed them out with the soles of our sneakers. As time passed, cars and trucks rolled over our fleets and armies, fuzzing our lines, softening hard edges. Thunderstorms pelted our canvas with fat plops of water. Hopscotch and scully grids were drawn over the places where once great battles raged. A couple of years ago, I made a pilgrimage to the old neighborhood. I found entire blocks demolished. Factories and houses with sheets of tin across their windows had become homes for ghosts and junkies. The schools I attended were gone, and the railroad had been paved over. But as I stood on the corner of Orkney and Huntington and looked down at the street, I could swear I saw a faded Nazi head by the curbside.
You're listening to the Neo Radio Hour. I'm Peter Donalds, and that was my co-producer Frank Skillman with one of his signature stories. We're going to listen now to a band called Revelation T-Sphere. You may remember we heard this band, some of their work, and we interviewed them on a show about, I don't know, maybe a year ago now. The piece I'm going to play is a nice extended jam they gave us a recording of, and it's fun to listen to a nice lengthy piece once in a while. Oftentimes what we'll have on the show are pieces of, standard song length, 2 or 3 minutes. But it's nice to hear the nature of improvisation and the humor and the freedom that comes in an extended jam. We used this music before as a bed to the interview. This time we're going to have it stand on its own. It's Revelation T-Sphere, Will Kirkpatrick, Leon Rosen, and Gary Wirtz. If you're a purist in any genre, there's your worst nightmare. The anti-contextualist jazz improvisations of Revelation T-Sphere. And they are Gary Wirtz on drums, age 26. I wouldn't mention his age normally, except that the other two members of the band, I definitely need to mention their ages. Leon Rosen at that recording on keyboards, 16 years old. Will Kirkpatrick on piano, 18 years old. So it's Generation X meets bebop. Great stuff. I like it. Revelation T-Sphere. You're listening to the Neo Radio Hour. I'm Peter Donalds.
Dust-filled air. Choking the light which struggles to reach the ground. The sound is muffled by its thickness. The economy is stalled by its weight. The depression is heavy in the hearts. And yet beneath it all, hidden down, down low, is still life. Children play, animals run. In the middle of a field, surrounded by weeds, stands a dusty rose.
Oh, Skillworth, so good of you to come visit at my sick bed.
I came post-haste upon learning of your infirmity.
I feel like a dog's body.
Where is your physician, my lord?
Oh, off checking my stools, mixing his herbs, chasing my chambermaid, or heaven knows what.
Well, fortunately, for your sake, my lord, I have been known to be a student of the medical arts. Allow me to bleed you. Servant, bring in my leech fellow.
Good heavens, Skillworth! The man is covered with leeches!
But of course, my lord, he's my leech fellow.
Oh!
Here's a little fatty that will surely suck the demon out of you. This one should be sufficient. Take the leech fellow back to his quarters. Would you like it on your shoulder or your bum, my lord?
The bum, Skillworth, the bum.
Ah, there you are. Do your work, little leech.
Oh, I feel better already, my lord. Oh, the recapture of the territory is nothing more than an appetizer to the big match. Play the trump card! Play the trump card!
You there! Come back with my leech fellow! My lord's fallen into a delirium!
Mama, I'll be a good boy.
One for your navel, one on the forehead. Oh, physician! Physician, where have you been? If my lord should take a turn for the worse, your head will roll!
The NeoRadio Hour is written and produced by Peter Donalds and Frank Skillman. Contributing artists tonight, Pamela Z., Troy Sutton, Revelation T-Sphere, The Intellectual Monarchs, and Seth Evans. In conversation, Nancy and Roger. It's the NeoRadio Hour, independent audio art. Thanks for listening. I hope you taped it. I'm Peter Donalds.